Hey guys, welcome back to Toku Week Day 2. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Blaze
and Makotoa.
Guys, welcome back. On the show today, we're going to be reviewing episode 21 of Build, and just like how 21 is the next step in maturity for, I guess, most Americans here, as such, it was for Build.
That was a retarded transition. Let's just get into the episode.
Shut the hell up.
I mean, to kind of go along with your
it.
transition, there was like a definite change of tone in this episode.
Yeah.
This was super depressing.
This episode just stopped everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No jokes.
And what really surprised me about this episode is how they kind of resolved the cliffhanger from last episode. Usually Toku kind of just craps the bed on most of these hangovers.
Don't worry, they're 21 now.
Yeah, but the cliffhangers.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, he's already henshin right after the opening, and he just starts smacking down on everyone. And the transition from him being Sento to being a rage monster and just completely wailing on whoever comes close to him, the way they set that up, the thoughts kind of reaching his brain, and also the way that they would go to darker and darker locations until we had that one scene where it's all dark and have that lamp just swinging above him.
Oh, that was really creepy.
Yeah, it was super cheesy, but
but it was well shot. It earned it.
Yeah,
it earned it.
I loved it.
It still built up the mood,
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So when he finally snapped, it was just.
Yep.
Yeah. And on top of that, there's some neat touches that they fed into here. There was the moment, that scene where Banjo was sort of fighting on his own. He called out specifically, "I will defend Toto," and his whole thing was attacking Hokuto and ending the war. He stopped that because he felt so bad about Sento that he took on his convictions and was trying to make that happen for him.
Wow.
I felt like that, it was a subtle little thing that they added. I really liked. And I feel like when you're grieving, or when you're at such a low point, you sort of fall back into your old ways, and that just because it's comfortable. That's why he went back to Brad Stank.
Well, I mean, I think that's his kind of father figure, technically.
Exactly. Yeah. And even though he's a bad dad. I guess Toku has a lot of bad dads. I feel like it fit because he's going back to something that's comfortable and something that's not necessarily good for him, but he can rely on.
Yeah. Also, he's the one who gave him the power up in the first place, and I think he wanted Brad Stank just say something to him. Because he was completely lost. He can't go to Misora to this. He can't be "Oh yeah, I killed someone and so. That's not a conversation that Misora can actually be productive in.
No.
Banjo was he got affected too. When he saw that, he just oh shit, this is not good. And immediately after the death scene of Alba, there was an entire week where Hokuto was just kind of taking their whatever they wanted from Toto. And Banjo wasn't there really actively trying to stop them until until Misora actually gives him the thing, or where they are. Because he's not ambitious to go into Hokuto, because I don't think he was really aware of the consequences. Even though he was super I'm just gonna end the war, when he actually sees like the death happened and how it affected Sento mostly, like it was just like, okay, I guess this isn't the right way. Like, even though I was trying to do something for Sento, there's no way I can continue doing this without hurting him even more.
Yeah. No, I get it, and a lot of it is like, a good chunk of what I liked about this episode didn't just come from Sento. It was a really big part of it, but like, Ryuga had a lot to do still. Like, I don't know, I'm just seeing a whole bunch of people like flooding Twitter with like, oh yeah, Sento was so good this episode. He was great. Don't get me wrong, but Banjo was just as good. I feel like, because like fitting into that supporting role so perfectly, and
he wasn't in it as much, but I see what you're saying. The stuff he was in was really good. I like what that moment when he goes to visit, which would the death site, right?
You mean Sento?
Sento visiting the death site, and then we had Grease there too.
Yeah, well, he visited another bad dad.
What?
Oh no, he's Kiva's dad. Kamen Rider Kiva.
Yeah, I know you're making that reference, but we haven't watched that series.
Okay.
Wait, you knew then? You know? Why are you confused?
Anyways,
other people might know. Fine.
So like, it took me a second to comprehend. I was like, yeah, you always associate him with the father figure because he's that one person's father. It's like,
well, no, I mean, it's not just that. He sort of lifted his spirits. He seems like a better father figure than Bloodstank at this point. You know,
I wasn't going to call him a father figure,
that.
not in any capacity. It was more of like, he's feeling so. I love the part that, he was feeling so guilty. He was just like, just hit me, do something.
Yeah.
Make me hurt so I can like be punished for what I did. And it, I was very much trying to like get into the head of Grease as to why he kind of quieted his rage this whole episode after that. I mean, after seeing that Sento, was like, he kind of, the guilt, right? Even at the very start of it, like right after he killed him.
But it did, to me, it felt a bit more, not necessarily, I guess, not like a father, but like a mentor. Like he saw and understands, like, I've been through this and I understand that you're grieving, and I relate to you, but you killed my friend. I understand that you are going through this. I'm going to be gentle right now, but you killed my friend. I'm going to beat you into the ground.
Yeah, but like, I don't know where you see like this whole like mentor or father figure, like, because like he has more experience on the battlefield, but I still feel like they're equals in that regard. They're more like peers rather than like Grease has authority over him in a way, or not authority, but like a position over him.
Well, yeah, because like he feels like he's indebted now. He owes that life to that guy for killing his friend.
I don't know. I just feel like when they were introduced, they had this whole interplay. It's a bunch of characters that and they're like, it was the setting they're all familiar with. Everyone was like knew each other. Everyone knew each other, but then one of them died, and then like everything shifted. The show shifted, and they were like, "Oh shoot, hold on, this is too much." And then you kind of realize like these guys know each other a lot, and they sort of understand that these guys are friends. Like it feels like a very weird friend group between them. And Grease, out of all of them, had the most experience and was kind of looking on as like sort of above them all.
I know he had more experience in battle or whatever, like, and he was the leader of the other group, but I don't see it. I'm more just going into just kind of the themes that we were playing with, where we had Sento just kind of like breaking down and like looking for answers in, you know, his father figure, but then also when Grease shows up, he's like, you know, do something to me so I, you know, can stop feeling this way.
Yeah, and it's not like it was actually gonna like solve his grief issues. And that kind of like goes back to like what Grease was kind of saying to Sento. Like, I actually really loved the dialogue between Grease and Sento, because it felt really believable. I mean, like, Sento's was kind of pushing it a bit too far, but like, especially with like Grease, like Alba wasn't someone that he was like super attached to, because he supposedly forgot his memories, but he did appreciate his loyalty and all the other stuff that came with it. And he was just like, shit, you know, like, this is war. Like, he you know, he kind of expected that this was going to happen, and he knew that like Alba was prepared to risk his life ever since he took like the hazard thing. Like, if he didn't, he would have survived. But it was just like, he was really like level-headed in the way he dealt it with Sento, and that's something like I really liked, because it kind of contrasts with like Sento and Banjo. Banjo's like a hothead, you know, super easy. But like Sento, although he's like calculated when it comes to like emotions and stuff, he's a bit like rash and kind of like hard-headed.
Well, that's, I mean, that plays into, I know you said it in the watch along, Michael, but it looked like they were a bunch of kids that just like, you know, played with some fireworks.
They were playing with fireworks or firecracker or something, and then like somebody blew their hand off, and everyone's like, whoa, what happened?
No, but like, at this point, they felt like lost kids not knowing what to do. You know, and he thought the right thing was, you know, to get beat up by Grease, I guess. Yeah, I just thought, like, he didn't go to him, but, like, well, he did kind of when they were both in the same place. But, you know, I just thought there was a more, like, I keep harping on this, but, like, the you know, fatherly connection. I saw, that's what I saw. That's what I interpret.
Thinking back, when we've had the trio of hard smash dudes, didn't they try to actually kill Sento and or Banjo before?
No, I don't think so. They were just trying to get the bottles.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean,
I think there were a couple of moments where they almost actually, like when he was civilian mode, and they still wanted to attack anyways.
Well, I don't think it mattered to them. I don't think it mattered to them, because they understand war. The whole thing is Sento and Banjo don't quite know yet. And it's not necessarily their story. It's Sento and Banjo. It's not, you know, the red and yellow guy's story. It's Sento and Banjo's.
But I mean, like, if they're willing to kill their enemies, then it's harder for me to sympathize. But at the same time, this isn't about them. This is about how like their goal was not to kill anyone.
Yeah, and and Sento took a life.
Yep.
And we dealt with that. I also liked in this episode, like at the end, because you know you gotta have your fight scenes, and you've got to make it happen, right? And this episode did a good job at saying, like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're grieving. It doesn't matter, like, that all this is happening to you. It sucks, I get it, but life has to go on. You have responsibilities, even if it sucks.
Banjo's gonna have to fight for you.
Yeah.
If you don't go, he will. I liked that.
It was a bunch of those hard words that Sento needed to hear in order to. It doesn't feel like the healthiest situation to be in, but it is. You know, those are the words that needed to get him through.
And then at the end of that conversation, Bloodstock gave him a hug. I mean, punched him in the gut. And they were... and then they were good.
Yeah, like when he's like groveling on the ground, and he's like, what are you doing, Sento? I thought you had conviction. Like, don't you still have things to protect? You can't be doing this shit right now. And it's damn.
Yeah,
this hurts.
I loved
so much.
I did love that he got to take out his frustrations on Bloodstock, because he couldn't have done that with Banjo. He couldn't have done that sparring with Banjo. I don't think it would have it would have worked. The fact that he had
I mean, that's
this pre-existing...
That's what the whole system's
yeah.
for. You know, it's for coaxing out the power levels of the build writers. And I feel like, in a way, he was still, again, serving that fatherly role of being the punching bag that Sento needed.
Yeah, like,
you know,
I really like how, like, they're, you know, developing Bloodstark.
Bloodstark's, like, level of in my book, for character wise, his points went up high because of this episode. I really loved his part in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Yeah, this episode was really good, and it gave us a bit of a lead in to the YouTube like mini-series. It's kind of like Q Ranger High School Wars, except, you know, it's just a bunch of shorts and Sento's going to be testing out some bottles. And it's going to be subbed by Genmu Corp, if you guys didn't know. So go ahead and check them out if you are so inclined. Guys, I think we're good with our discussion. I mean,
yeah,
we talked this through pretty thoroughly.
I think the only thing I would want to mention is that Stark or whatever mentioned Brad, whatever.
Yeah, thanks.
He mentioned at one point Bloodstock. He mentioned at one point that there was, like, if he reached a certain hazard level, he would be able to control. And, you know, this is, like, obviously he's eventually going to be able to control his forms, but
yeah,
his, you know, if he reaches a certain hazard level, he'll be able to control it. I think he said something else.
No, that I feel like that was teeing up the YouTube special.
Was it?
Oh, hey, you got to get through all of these bottles, and then you can, you know.
I thought, because he said there is a way to control it.
Yeah, exactly. And
was it?
Like the whole thing about those specials is testing those bottles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't. It seemed a bit hokey, but, you know, it's build. I'm willing to trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, guys, I think that just about does it for us. Yeah. And again, it's Toku week, so we're going to be bringing you tokusatsu content every day, not every week. Oh, yeah, every week. We're going to be bringing you tokusatsu content every day this week. Tomorrow, like I said just now, I didn't realize I teased it, we're going to be reviewing Q Ranger High School Wars. So get ready for that tomorrow. And yeah, if you guys like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week and the rest of Toku week to build up to Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Later.